When it comes to plantation homes, there are a handful of them along the border that really stand out. Historical Commissioner Eugene Fernandez takes us to a historic plantation home right here in the RGV.
Brenda, we're at what has traditionally been known as Landrum's Landing. It is one of the 4 existing houses that were the queen bees of plantation houses on the river. The Santa Maria Plantation, up the way here, the Landrum Plantation, the Rabstark Plantation, and then the Brule Plantation. This is the only one that really has survived with its original owners up into the 1980s. It started with James Lambert Landrum. He built it in 1902, but you have to consider how he got the house. He married Stephen Powers' daughter, Pauline. Stephen Powers was the big power broker for South Texas right after the Mexican-American War. He was an attorney by trade, but it started much earlier than that. He came to South Texas here during the Mexican-American War. He was with General Taylor, and after the war was over, he went back to Maine, where he was from. He came back to this part of the country, and he took up a law practice here. His partners were Charles Stillman, and Mifflin Kennedy and Richard King, if you can imagine. And he helped to build the incorporation for the township of Brownsville. Now, his daughter was on vacation in Uvalde, Texas. Now, that's where James Lambert Landrum comes into the picture. James Lambert Landrum's father was William Lambert. He was out of California. He had an enterprising thought of trying to get into a business that would find a better fabric than silk. So he brought Angora goats in from North Africa, and he settled them in Uvalde. So you have Stephen Powers, his daughter, going on vacation to Uvalde, Texas. She meets the dynamic James Lambert Landrum. They were married in 1892. They came down here. They started the house at about 1892. It took them 10 years to finish it. Stephen Powers obtained this land as 1 league of land in payment for his legal services in defending the title from Bartolome Fernandez, who had it as a son, the Concepcion de Carecitos land grant. Right. When James Lambert Landrum got going, he took on partners. His partners were Benjamin Oliver Hicks, which was his brother-in-law, and Sam Robertson. That's a well-known name. They founded the town site of San Benito, Texas. The house survived all of these years with one of the Landrums actually living in it right up into the 1980s. And then a family took over at the Bowers for the period on up to recent. Directly behind us now, what you see is the restoration effort that was done by the Arteagas. They bought the house just a handful of years ago, and they've done a magnificent restoration of this house. And what you see around you here is exactly the way that you would have seen a house like this back at the turn of the century. All the attention to detail is exactly what should be done in historic preservation. This house was brought back to life by these people. It had plenty of life to begin with, and looking at it now, it takes you back into that time, and the rest is history. For KVEO News, I'm Eugene Fernandez.